Well, for Michigan deer hunters, right now is one of the best times to be in the woods. I think the weather's finally cooperating there. But according to the Michigan Department of Natural Resources, hunters are not hitting their target this early archery season.
Yeah, it started back on October 1st, and it runs up to the beginning of firearm season, of course, on November 15th. And right now, compared to this time last year, the success rate for deer hunters is actually down. Andy Curtis joining us live this morning with more on those numbers and what it means now as we get ready for firearm season. Safely hanging out in the tree there, right, Andy?
Safely hanging out.
Very
Yes,
safely,
emphasis on the safety part of that. Good morning, Janice. Good morning, Elliot. Yeah, the numbers at first glance don't really look great, right? The DNR told me when we're looking at successful numbers this year compared to this time last year, we're actually down about 12%. But it might not be as doom and gloom as it sounds, because actually there's a lot of factors that are contributing to that lower reported number. The first one, the one that I experienced firsthand, is the weather. Now, archery season started on October 1st, and if you remember at the beginning of the month, we were still very, very dry, very, very hot, and it was very, very windy. I know that firsthand because I spent that first weekend of archery season sweating in a tree stand. I am thinking that a few other hunters out there may be smarter than me and opted to wait a couple of days before heading out into the woods. So that's a factor. Another thing with the heat, especially during archery season, you've got to shoot that deer, find that deer, and process that deer very, very quickly so the heat doesn't spoil the venison. And that's easier said than done when you're hunting with a bow and arrow. Another thing, a lot of the numbers come from hunters self-reporting their harvests, which, let's admit, doesn't always happen with everybody, so that could play a factor in some of the lower numbers. And on the radar is epizootic hemorrhagic disease, or EHD. Now, that's a disease that we've reported on here in the past, and it is a usually fatal disease spread by biting flies to deer, which has been confirmed in 14 counties across Michigan, including Van Buren County. This disease, as like I said, we've reported, is no risk to humans, but according to Brent Rudolph with the Michigan DNR, it could be another reason you're not seeing as many deer in the field this year.
It's really localized. So if you're hunting in a place that's had that outbreak, you might be seeing fewer deer than last year and fewer than you'd like. The good thing, though, is with the temperatures dropping, I know I've seen frost coming out. I don't know how widespread or heavy it's been, but that will shut that outbreak down. It's transmitted by an insect that's killed off in the process of that frost. And that will be, positive for us.
Now, Brent told me that there is a number that's going in the opposite direction, and that's the amount of deer license and hunting licenses sold so far compared to this time last year. That's up about 4%. And then the big picture, when you look at all of this, most hunters don't actually become successful and get out into the field until firearm season, which starts on November 15th. 70% of all the deer shot here in Michigan each and every year are shots up until Thanksgiving. So not anything to really panic about right now, but something that we should be paying attention to, a little bit of a drop in those successful numbers, you two. And I do know one hunter who was successful.
Why did I
Take a
know
look
that
at
this was going to
this
happen?
handsome guy.
Who's that?
Excited about this harvest that I was lucky enough to take. A nice mature doe.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, thank you.
Impressive. How long did that take
And let me tell you the
Andy?
story.
Oh, he's got a story.
What's the
That
story?
took me,
Yeah.
I was out hunting, and that was an afternoon, and shot her through the heart and the lungs, 22 yards, so a real chip shot with the bow and arrow. She probably went 75 yards. We found her right away. So, as not to brag, but as perfect of a kill and a shot that you can hope for when you're archery
Pat
hunting.
yourself
So
on the
got her
back.
process, got that all taken care of. Any excuse, right? Any excuse to talk about my hunting success. That's the only reason I pitched this story this morning anyway.
Yeah.
So
Well, hey, Kevin said,
check
did you
that off the
process
list.
the meat yourself, too?
Yeah. Where's that venison?
So I typically would, but like I mentioned at the beginning of the story, because it was so hot and it's been so hot, it's not a great idea to let the deer hang, which you want to let it hang for a couple of days. Not an incredibly good idea when it's still like 50, 60 degrees during the day. So I did have to take that to a processor.
I didn't know that.
Hopefully this next one, I've still got 2 tags left. All right, if you're playing along at home and keeping track, still have 2 tags left. And with the temperatures dropping down and getting colder during the late evening and during the night, hopefully I'll be able to process the next one.
I'm assuming Halloween weekend you'll be out hunting. It's going to be good temps, nice and cool.
It'll be a great opportunity. My official hunt forecast is get out there if you can, but just don't do it around anywhere that I'm going to be. So maybe wait till I'm successful again, then get out there.
Okay.
All right, perfect. Well,
There's
this morning,
plenty of deer for everybody out there, I think.
This morning would have been perfect though to be out if you're actually.
Yeah, it's